We are starting our stewardship campaign, and for you who have seen your letter asking you to make a pledge during this time, you'll know that the theme of the campaign is appreciation. Appreciation for the things that have gone on in this church for 200 years, and the hope that it'll continue beyond our time. I appreciate a lot of things about this church, the people, the programs, things that we've done through the years and everything, but if I wanted to talk about one thing that I especially appreciate today, and that's that we take the Bible seriously and not literally. When I started coming to this church in 1956, it was actually down at the corner of 4th and Washington, and I came with some conservative views that were the American Baptist version of Southern Baptist, if you will. But what I found here was that this was a welcoming congregation, and they didn't condemn or criticize my views, but they said, here we're all on a journey, looking for interpretations, explanations, and ways to truly live our lives in the way of Jesus. Join us on this journey, and I did. And throughout the years, many various ministers have challenged us to look critically at the Bible and don't just blindly say, this is what it means, don't confuse me with scholarship. So in January of 2021, I went to Washington, D.C. for the Women's March. Actually, I went with a woman who had made reservations thinking that she was going to see Hillary Clinton inaugurated. But when that didn't happen, she went anyway and joined the march and invited me to go along. And let me tell you, I'd never been to that sort of a protest or anything before. And the theological distance between 1956 and 2021 had been a lot greater distance than the distance between Bloomington and Washington, D.C. But anyway, while we were there, of course, I was very enthusiastic about protesting, and when it came back, I thought we were going to have protests around here, and I had the idea that as a church, we would go in a group to these protests, and that we would wear something that would identify us as being together with like minds and so on, give us an opening to invite people to come and join in our journey and so on. And so I developed this shawl or stole, and it never took off. We never actually developed anything that we did as a group, but it reminded me that when I did work on it, that I was identifying the things that were important to me. And at the top, I've got I usually do this in front of a mirror, I'm so vain. But they have the cross and the fish, which are, of course, symbols of Jesus, and the Bible, which is at the core of our beliefs. And then I had the scales of justice, because we promote justice in all kinds of areas, racial justice, gender, environmental, and recently we've begun a discussion on justice and injustice for people with disabilities. Also had the doves, which indicate peace, and not just peace that's because we're not at an international war, but the peace that comes from helping people have what they need to thrive and escape domestic violence, addiction, and other things that keep a person from having peace in their lives. Also had the rainbow of hearts. It doesn't take much explanation. We've spoken out on the rights and of the community with all kinds of, on the sexual spectrum, and we have said over and over and over, love is love and God loves us all. And we've taken our stand. We're an opening and welcoming, affirming church, and so we have put our statement, we've made that statement public. And then I had the hands of hope. hope that we can reach out to people in whatever area of need they have, whether it's hunger, housing, health care, just emotional support or whatever. And not just in the community, but among ourselves. And I can tell you that many of the people here have been with me and my family through the ups and downs of life that everybody goes through, and I appreciate that so very much. And that's why I appreciate the church and the work that we've been doing. And I hope that you'll join me on keeping this journey going. Thank you.